Today, we will try to understand valency. Now, what is the basic definition of valency? Valency is the combining capacity of an atom or of a radical. Now, I am just writing three metals and three non-metals. Okay. Now, one is sodium, Na. The next one is magnesium, Mg. Third one is aluminum, Al. Sodium atomic number is 11, magnesium is 12, aluminum is 13. So electronic configuration of sodium is 281, magnesium is 282, aluminum is 283. Okay, and now three non-metals. One is chlorine, another one is oxygen, and the third one is nitrogen. Now, chlorine atomic number is 17, electronic configuration 287. Oxygen atomic number is 8, electronic configuration is 26. Nitrogen atomic number is 7, electronic configuration is 25. Okay. Now, valency is basically the combining capacity of an atom or of a radical. Now, what is the modern definition of valency? The modern definition is the number of electrons. Now, concentrate on this particular point. Now, I am talking about electrons. The number of electrons that atom can lose. So, the first point is the atom can lose, gain, share during a chemical reaction is called its valency. Now, let us check. Sodium, one electron in the outermost shell. Now, this outermost shell is known as the valence shell, and the number of electrons present in the outermost shell are known as valence electron. So, one valence electron, so sodium, one atom of sodium minus one electron. So, that means the sodium atom losing one electron from its outermost shell, and what we are getting Na plus. So we are getting Na plus. Now this is a ion. Now this is a positive ion. That means it is a cation. Okay. Now magnesium similarly losing two electron from its outermost shell. Okay. And what we are getting Mg 2 plus. Aluminium losing 3 electrons from the outermost shell, and we are getting Al 3 plus. So now let us concentrate again on the modern definition of valency. The number of electrons that atom can lose, the number of electrons that atom can lose is called its valency. So sodium losing one electron, so the valency of sodium is 1. Magnesium losing 2 electrons, so the valency of magnesium is 2. Aluminium losing 3 electrons, so the valency of aluminium is 3. Now let us concentrate on the non-metals. Chlorine, atomic number is 17. Okay, atomic number is 17. So 7 electron in the outermost shell. So chlorine, if it accepts one electron, so we will get Cl minus. Okay. Now oxygen outermost is 6. So if it accepts 2 electron, so we will get O2 minus. Okay. And nitrogen, if it accepts 3 electron, then we will get N3 minus. Now again concentrating on the definition of valency. The number of electrons that atom can lose, gain, is called its valency. So chlorine atom is gaining one electron, so the valency of chlorine is 1. Now oxygen is gaining 2 electrons, so the valency of oxygen is 2. Nitrogen gaining 3 electron, so the valency of nitrogen is 3. Now one part is still remaining. Again we are repeating the definition. The number of electrons that atom can lose, done. Gain, done. Now we are concentrating on share. During a chemical reaction is called its valency. Now sharing. Now for example HCl. For example HCl. Now this is basically hydrogen chloride gas, HCl. Now here one atom of hydrogen combines with one atom of chlorine. Now how they are combining, I am showing you. Now hydrogen, its atomic number is 1. So 1 electron, let us this particular black dot represent the only electron of hydrogen, and chlorine outermost shell 7 electrons. So 7 electrons, so chlorine 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Now this is sharing. Now this is sharing. Now 1 electron from hydrogen and 1 electron from chlorine. Okay. So HCl, so they are sharing these 2 electrons. Okay. Now, so this is basically sharing of electrons. Now, instead of drawing these 2 electrons, we can draw a straight line, which basically represents a single bond. So here, in order to form one molecule of HCl, now one chlorine atom is combining with one hydrogen atom. So the valency of chlorine is 1. So the valency of chlorine is 1. Okay. Now again, in case of water, let us concentrate in case of water. Okay. Now this is water is H2O. Now this is how we draw water in a very simple way. Now, so here what happens? Now, in order to form a molecule of water is H2O like this. Now what happens? One atom of oxygen combines with 2 hydrogen atom. It combines with 2 hydrogen atom. So the valency of oxygen is 2. The valency of oxygen is 2. Okay. Now here, let us concentrate on the next example, NH3. The next example is NH3. So we have nitrogen here and we have 3 single bond, one H, another way H, the third one. Okay. So in order to form a molecule of ammonia, one nitrogen atom is combining with 3 hydrogen atom. So the valency of nitrogen is 3. So the valency of nitrogen is 3. The valency of oxygen here is 2. And the last one, methane. Methane, it's an organic compound. CH4 is the formula. Now C, we have like this, we draw methane. So one carbon atom, in order to form a molecule of methane, one carbon atom is combining with 4 hydrogen atom. So the valency of carbon here in this particular compound is 4. So in this way, we can say the number of electrons that an atom can lose, gain, share during a chemical reaction is called its valency. Now, there are some elements which exhibit more than one valency. Okay, so that concept is known as variable valency. Variable valency. Now that concept is known as variable valency. Now there are some elements which exhibit variable valency. I will tell you. Let us move to page number 2. Okay, here is page number 2, valency. We are continuing. Okay, now for example, we have gold. Now we have gold. It exhibit 2 valency. Okay, now one valency is 1 and this is the lower valency and the higher valency is 3. Now in case of silver, we can see 2 valency, 1 and 2. Okay, Now, in case of copper, again, two valency, 1 and 2. In case of mercury, we have 1 and we have 2. In case of iron, we have 2 and we have 3. Then in case of lead, in case of platinum, and in case of tin, we have 2 and 4. Now let us explain. Now in order to, now this gold. Now the Latin name of gold is aurum. Okay. The Latin name of silver is argentum. So we call the lower valency aurus, and we call the higher valency auric. Similarly, argentus, argentic. Now copper, the Latin name is cuprum. So we have cuprous and cupric. Now here we have mercury. We have two valency. Mercury is basically hydrogyrum. That is the Latin name. So hydrogyrum is the Latin name of mercury. So we have two valency, mercurus, and we call it mercury. Iron, the Latin name is iron. The Latin name is, now the two valency is 2 and 3. One is ferrous, and the higher one is ferric. Okay. Now the Latin name of iron is ferrum. Okay. Now lead, the Latin name is plumbum. So we have plumbus and plumbic. Now platinus and platinic, and tin, Latin name is stannum. So we have stannus and stannic. So one thing is clear. The first point is that now now when we are talking about a lower valency, for example, the lower valency of gold is 1. So we should call it aurus, aurous, aurus. That means we are just adding a suffix ous. Okay, aurus, and the higher one is auric, auric. That means we are adding another suffix in case of higher valency, that is ic. So in case of lower valency, we will add a suffix ous, us, and in case of higher valency, we will add a different suffix, that is ic, which is known as ic. Okay. Now another way of there's another way. Now we can write like this. Now let us take two example of copper. Let us take two example of copper. Now one is cuprous. One is cuprous, and the other one is cupric. So cuprous, the lower valency, so its valency is 1. Cupric is the higher one, its valency is 2. Now this is a compound. Now Cu2O. In this particular compound, the valency of copper is 1, and CuO, in this particular compound, the valency of copper is 2. Okay. So we can write in this way also. Now we can write this is Cu2O. This is copper oxide. We can write like this: copper 1 oxide. So the valency, we should write that within a bracket, and that should be in a Roman alphabet. Now this CuO, this is cupric. This is cupric oxide. So we can write like this: copper 2 oxide. This is another way of writing. Okay. So we can write this one as cuprous oxide or copper 1 oxide, and this one as cupric oxide or copper 2 oxide. Okay. Now why these particular elements they exhibit dual valency, or not dual? There are some elements which show more than the two valency. These particular elements they show a dual valency. Now there are elements, for example, now these are all metals. Now let us change the page. Okay. Now we have non-metals. For example, we have nitrogen. Now if I concentrate on non-metals, now I can, there are three non-metals. One is nitrogen. The symbol is N. Okay. Okay, let us. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, okay. Now, one is nitrogen, the symbol is N. Another one is phosphorus, the symbol is P. And the last one is sulfur, the symbol is S. They also exhibit more than one valency, more than one valency. For example, if I take phosphorus, now in PCl3, the valency of phosphorus is 3. And in PCl5, the valency of phosphorus is 5. So two valency of phosphorus, one is 3, another one is 5. Now, if I concentrate on sulfur, now sulfur exhibit three valency. One is 2, another one is 4, another one is 6. Now we can see the valency of sulfur 2 in this particular compound H2S. H2S. In H2S, the valency of sulfur is 2. Then in SO2, the valency of sulfur is 4. And in SO3, the valency of sulfur is 6. Now nitrogen. It's a very interesting element. Now it exhibit valency 1, valency 2, valency 3, valency 4, valency 5. Now, in case of ammonia, NH3, it exhibits valency 3. In NH3, it exhibits valency 3. Okay. Now, valency 1 in N2O. In N2O, the valency of nitrogen is 1. Then in NO, the valency of nitrogen is 2. Then again in N2O3, the valency of nitrogen is 3. Then in NO2, the valency of nitrogen is 4. And in N2O5, the valency of nitrogen is 5. Okay. Now we will understand why some elements they show variable valency. Now, what is the basic reason behind that? Now, for that, I want to take one example. Let us take the example of copper. Let us take the example of copper. Okay. Now, what is the atomic number of copper? The atomic number of copper is 29. So, if I write down the electronic configuration of copper, 29 is 2, 8, 18, and 1. So, one electron in the outermost shell, so the valency will be 1. Now, there is a very easy way of understanding valency also. Now, let us form a chart here. Okay. Now, here, the number of electrons in the outermost shell, the number of electrons in the outermost shell, and here is valency. So, if you see one electron in the outermost shell, the valency is 1. 2 electron, the valency 2. 3, the valency 3. 4, the valency 4. 5, the valency will be 3. That is basically 8 minus of 5. Now, if you see 6 electron in the outermost shell, the valency will be 2. That means 8 minus of 6. Then 7 electron in the outermost shell, valency will be 1. 8 minus of 7. And 8 electron in the outermost shell, valency will be nil. That means 0. It is basically 8 minus of 8. That is 0. Now, so 1 electron in the outermost shell. So it's clear the valency of copper is 1. But copper exhibits two valency. One is 1, another one is 2. So how the 2 is coming? From where it is coming? Now see here. Now this is known as the penultimate shell. This is the valence shell and this is the penultimate shell. Now what happens? Now 2, 8, 18, 1. So copper is exhibiting valency 1. That's fine. Now what happens? Now from the penultimate shell, one electron jumps from the penultimate shell to the valence shell. So the electronic configuration now is 2, 8, 17 and 2. Now we have 2 electron in the outermost shell. That means 2 valence electron. So the valency of copper is 2. So this is a very simple way of explaining why particular some elements they exhibit dual valency. That means two valency. Okay. So this is all for today. Um, so we just completed valency. This is a very important topic in chemistry. So if this video helps you, like it, share with your friends, comment and subscribe. Okay, thank you.